everyone, my name is Shannon Crossan and welcome to my first ever podcast. So today the topic is why I started YouTube, and I just wanted to explain why I started this channel. I mean, it's been 3 years already, nearly in December, and that's just so weird that I've been doing it for that long. But yeah. Anyways, so first of all, I wanted to talk about my old YouTube channels that I used to have. So back in 2013, I'd like to say 13 or 14. I did like the old like 10 YouTube videos, when you used to see like top 10 YouTubers, top 10 films. That's kind of what I used to do. And I just did it because I liked watching them back when I was, 13 and 14 years old. And then when it got to about, I like 2015, I think I was 14 years old, I decided to make a YouTube channel called Shanling Station. It's still up now. I've stopped doing it now because it's just not something that I perceive myself doing in the future. But I just was really inspired by all of the YouTubers that I used to watch when I was younger. So I decided to make a YouTube channel. And my first ever video was me saying like top 10 things about that you didn't know about me, and I really enjoyed making that YouTube channel. It started off as like the typical YouTube trends that used to happen, like truth or dare and stuff, trying American snacks, and then it got into just things that I liked, trying out Musicallys when Musically was still a thing. It is now TikTok. But yeah, I just really enjoyed doing it. I mean, when I was in school, it wasn't that popular to have a YouTube channel. Like, everyone was watching YouTube, but it just was frowned upon to have a YouTube channel. It was like cringy, which I didn't really care if people had YouTube channels because they're just expressing themselves. It's a way to express yourself. But I didn't really think about doing a gaming YouTube channel until about 2020 when I saw Froggy Crossing, and I was kind of inspired to do that kind of channel. I mean, I've been watching gaming YouTubers. I've been watching Stampy Longhead for about 11 years now, maybe. I started watching him in 2012 when I started watching majority of YouTube, because that's when I moved to Devon. So yeah, that's when I did that. When I was younger, it was more about like television. It was less about the internet. Like, I used to play Dora games on like a huge computer that we used to have on like next to the dining room table. It was massive computer. But yeah, I kind of want to also answer some questions that people have asked me, but I don't want to answer it in like a way like too early in the podcast, because I do want this podcast to be about 10 to 20 minutes long. I don't want it to be too long for my first ever podcast because I feel like it won't capture the viewers in. So yeah. One of the reasons why I also started doing YouTube is because when it comes to YouTube, I feel like it is a very much an escape. Like, quite a lot of like millennials and older generations have like soaps and like TV shows. I also watch TV to escape, but it's one of those things like they watch EastEnders, Emmerdale, and all of that kind of like as an escape. But we kind of just watch like people playing games, it's kind of like an escape, which I really enjoy. But I also wanted to be one of those people that people would escape to as well. Like, my YouTube channel is very much, even though it's about gaming, it's also about my mental health as well, because like I said, I did have a YouTube channel back in 2015 and I finished it at around 2021. I think it overlapped of me playing my games on my on this account. But I just decided that I preferred to choose whether I wanted my face on my YouTube channel every now and then, because obviously with a vlog slash sit down channel, you always have to have your face in it, unless you're kind of like Dream or Rambo, where you've got a mask on. But I kind of, when I was younger, like when I was a teenager, I used to come home from school because I was very badly bullied at school. And I just used to watch YouTubers, and this may sound a bit like weird or cringy. I don't know, because it really depends on who am I following or who my subscribers are as people. But I kind of watched like Dan and Phil and Shane Dawson and Jacksepticeye, Markiplier. I kind of watched them like they were my secondary friends. Like, I knew so much about them. I knew so much about like what they liked, and like they liked the exact same things as I did. Like my old channel was very kind of typical YouTuber thing. So I used to do like Truth or Dare. I mean, maybe on here I might do a reaction of my old YouTube videos. I would probably cringe, but it's kind of was a way that I'd express myself because I was quite quiet in school. I didn't really like expressing myself, because when I did, I just got really badly bullied. So I kind of used that as a way to express to people and also find people that were interested in the same stuff as I was. So like I was very interested in YouTube, just YouTubers. I loved Dan and Phil. I bought all of the YouTuber books. I bought all of the merch. I bought loads of stuff that came with like liking YouTube. I had the posters in my room. If you watch my old YouTube videos, you'll see all the posters. There was like posters of Joe and Casper, Tanya Burr, Zoella, Pointless Vlog, all of those. I used to watch every single one. And then I just find it kind of weird that I got bullied so much for having a YouTube channel. But it's one of those things. I don't know whether they were jealous that I was expressing myself and they just couldn't do it for themselves. But maybe they're just not very nice people. I'm not entirely sure. But let's go to the questions that Shanlings have asked me. So Melon asked, why did you become a YouTuber? The reason why I became a YouTuber is because I wanted there to be a place where people could come and just forget about life, forget about their problems and stuff, and just watch someone playing Animal Crossing. One of the reasons, well, it said which one of the reasons was why I became a YouTuber. One of the reasons was because I watched Froggy Crossing and Tiger, and I just thought it was really fun to do. I mean, I like playing video games anyways, so I may as well. Also, I was very new to Animal Crossing at that time. I started in about November, December time, like doing the YouTube channel, and I'd only just got my first Animal Crossing game in September, so I was very new to it. I was very quiet when I first started, like I would literally whisper into the microphone, which sometimes I still do because I'm just very anxious person. And then Melon also asked who/what inspired you to become a YouTuber. So back in the early times, it was like Dan and Phil. Now it's still Dan and Phil, but it's kind of like I just really want to be an escape for people to come to when they're having a bad time or if their mental health's really bad, and just kind of watch my content or just escape from reality, kind of. And also what inspired me, I'd say just having a place to escape to. And even for me, I mean, I do film and photography. I've delayed or deferred a year because my mental health was so bad I could not finish my course. So I've decided to redo my course, but basically I do film and photography. So I really enjoy editing. I love editing so much. So I thought, that's a way for me to experience more editing and also kind of grow a bit of a following from it as well. What are some of your goals? One of my goals I've already met, well, quite a few times, is that I just want to make people happy watching my stuff. That's all. That's all I really need. It's just to make people happy. I mean, when I was a teenager, I just watched Dan and Phil and all of that YouTubers to help me when I was having a really bad time and just to escape from stuff. So, one of my goals was to make people happy, and I have had people message me say that they make my videos make them smile, which I mean is just a bonus at something I always wanted to happen. Is that I just make people happy, and that's basically my goal in life, is to help people and make them happy. And the other question is, what's something you achieved as a YouTuber? So something that I've achieved is basically all of the basic milestones. I mean, I've reached over 100 subscribers. I've got a Discord that's full of loving people, and I've got quite a few content creator friends that I've made through YouTube. I also do Twitch as well, but I don't do that as much. I haven't really found my community in Twitch that much, so that's why I'm more based in YouTube. But I might do some more stuff over in Twitch. So if you would like to see me do more on Twitch, then comment that you want to see me do more on Twitch. Also, Sparky has asked a question. Did you start YouTube a long time your full-time job? So when I first started YouTube, I had my part-time job in this channel was when I was working at Primark, and I also had my gap year, so I wasn't actually in uni. So it was kind of like I didn't really have much to do during the week because I only really worked weekends. So I decided to do that, and then after work I would come home and do some streams. Like on Sunday I do streams, which I still do now. Yeah, it's really nice having a community to come back to. I mean, when I first started YouTube, first of all, like back in the day, I say back in the day, 2015 wasn't that long ago. But it was nearly 10 years ago. We'll forget about that fact. We'll forget that it was nearly 10 years ago. But yeah, when I started back then, I was in school, so I didn't really have a full-time job. My full-time job was school, and I didn't really do so well in school because I just didn't turn up because I was getting bullied so much. But if you do want a podcast of me explaining my past and stuff and my mental health, then comment that down below. I'm very open when it comes to my mental health. I also post stuff from my college onto my YouTube, my other YouTube, because it's kind of a way that people discover you now. I mean, when it comes to like big idols and big pop idols, I mean, Justin Bieber was found on YouTube in 2012. So, it could happen to anyone, really. But yeah, I mean, when I'm older, I want to be a film director. So I thought maybe when people are coming across, they'll see it on YouTube. I've made quite a few short films on YouTube because of my course. I made a vampire slash psychological film back in 2018, 2019. It kind of all runs into one. I think 2020, when I first started my gap year at the beginning, so when I broke up from my gap year, I did one about a transgender film. I kind of wanted to make it so that it could show people that you can actually cast transgender actors as transgender roles, as it took me ages to find all of the actors that I needed for it, but it's the thought, you wouldn't really want someone to play a trans female that's just the rock in a dress. So I had actual people, and I also had like charities and stuff. I had I tagged mermaids because that's kind of like the UK transgender charity over here. So yeah, I kind of have been using YouTube for a while. I mean, I've kind of grown up when YouTube was very much in its prime. I mean, like one of my subscribers, Toast, said that they've been doing YouTube since 2006. I haven't been doing it since 2006 because that's when I started school, so I didn't do it back then. But I've just always loved photography and stuff and media, so I thought may as well turn it into a YouTube channel. But now I'm going to talk about some YouTubers that I enjoy, like new and old, and maybe some that I don't watch anymore. So, when I first started watching YouTube, I used to watch Stampy and I Ballistic Squid, Quackity, I think, and quite a lot Lion One, Alpha Lee, all of those. And then I started watching PewDiePie, and I kind of didn't want to do gaming YouTube back then because it was all like horror stuff. So it was like Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm good at watching it, but I would not play it. It would scare me so much. And then I was watching Dan and Phil. Basically, I went into school one day in year 7, and one of my friends had a Dan and Phil badge on, and I was like, "Oh, who are they? They look really interesting." And she said they're Dan and Phil. So I went home and searched them up, and ever since then, I've just really enjoyed their content. I've unfortunately never gone to see them in real life, but I really like the fact that I can use them as kind of like an escape. So yeah, also, one thing that I want to do with this YouTube channel is to have more collaborations with people, but kind of collaborate with like smaller content creators. And also, this podcast is called the Shanling Station because it's about Shanlings. Well, it's about me for Shanlings. So basically, my subscribers are called Shanlings. That is like the name that I've called them now. And basically, what I want is for you lot to comment topics that you want me to do because it's for you. I mean, there's no point in me talking about stuff that I like all the time if it's not interesting to the viewers. So, yeah, anyways, I think that's the end of this week's podcast. I will be uploading a podcast every Saturday unless I am ill, and you probably don't want to hear ill Shannon talking. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this podcast. You could have it whilst you're doing the cleaning or something. I don't know. It's going to be a video podcast, but it's not going to be video. You won't be able to see my face. You'll just see an animation keep on going on and going on that I made in Canva. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Or listening actually, as it's a podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and press that like button, and comment down below some topics that you would like me to do. I mean, it doesn't have to be gaming related. Do you want me to talk about K-pop for 20 minutes? I don't know. It's up to you. It's the Shanling podcast. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Okay, bye Shanlings.